Hi guys, this is Jay. So I have developed this Tesladin build. So let me go over with the gear first. So Tesladin, of course, you need Helm Dream, you need Helm Shield, and also I choose for the armor, I choose the Enigma for mobility, so I can teleport around the map. And then and also for glove, I choose Lay of Hands because of 350% damage to demons, and also the 20% increased attack speed. So the 20% increase attack speed actually synchronized with the fanaticism provided by my mercenary. So my mercenary actually has faith, so faith actually procs fanaticism. So with fanaticism, you really need 20% of attack speed, and your attack speed will be capped. And then with her items, with the armor, you can choose anything. You can choose Chain of Honor, or Fortitude, or here in this case, I choose Dragon for more AOE and damage. Since my mercenary is an Act 1 mercenary, she won't get hit most of the time. So I just choose Andario with attack and attack speed gem. And then rest of the gear you can actually pick and choose. With the build you can choose Thunder God, you can choose String of Years, anything you want essentially. With the shoes you can choose with Gold Rider or Goblin. Here since I have my weapon, the Last Wish, which kind of compensates all the flaws of the build of the other pieces. Since my shield, with the life tab, you actually want life tab to survive over. So with the life tab, you have two choices. You can use Exile, or you can use Draco. So since this case, for the shield, I choose use Dream. So then I cannot use Exile. For my glove, I use Lay of Hands, so I can now use Draco. So my left type source is actually from the Last Wish. And then also because my resistance is not super high, well it's very close, but if you choose to use let's say High Lord or anything like that instead of Mala that does not have resistance, then you can actually use the Last Wish to compensate for that. You can actually use Last Wish to cross the Fade, and Fade actually maximize your resistance. So with the Last Wish, you can pick and choose your enemy and your rings, etc. And then lastly, the ITD, the indoor target defense is very good because then that way you don't need to stack up your attack rating essentially. For anything that below your level, you can pretty much hit them. And then for boss or Ubers, you want to use Smite, and Smite's never miss target skill, so you're good here with ITD. And then magic fine is always nice. And so with the shoes you have multiple choices. You don't really need to use 4 travelers, since Last Wish provide enough CB crushing blow. So really if you want more crushing blow, you can choose Goblin or Gold Rider. Here I have already got almost 70%, so here I choose a little bit more of magic fine and more defense on the War Traveler. With the ring, you always want Raven Frost. It's almost like a must. But if you have, well, in this case, you don't have a choice to use Chain Room. I was going to say you can use Chain Room, but since you have Rune Ward for all your pieces, the only choice that you can have for ring is Raven Frost. So this slide is taken. But with the bell, the rings and the enemy, you can pick and choose whatever you want. And then, so let's do some gameplay. And then for offhand, here I have pretty standard call to arm plus here. That's all you want anyway. So here let me pop, and then here I can actually teleport around the target. For the skill set, you can choose to add salvation. Here I don't choose to add salvation. It's up to you. I choose to increase the maximum resistance on the lightning and the fire. And also for expensive arouse, I choose a conviction because my mercenary already provides fanaticism. So conviction actually increase my dream Tesladin Holy Shock attack. For combat skill, you always want Holy Shield. Yeah, has so much defense and block rate. It's pretty good for you. And then also I maximize Zeal, and with maximize Zeal, you want to maximize sacrifice for your main damager. And then so I run max block like here 75%. And then with Enigma, I don't really need to add any strength. So pretty much everything goes to Dex and Vitality. That's why I was able to boost up to almost over 4,000. health. So let's do another boss and let's play the game. So with this build, you know, I think this last week alone can already solo Uber. Maybe there's a little bit of a fantasy from the build or any something like that. Since with Uber you just want to use back in build anyway, and then you'll just find the Uber. And like that, so you know, last week we revised all that. So here I'm going to proc my conviction, and then I'm going to switch it out to Smite, my hit and everything. So there's that. I mean, usually very dead. Go back, and let me buy some pots. So with the charm, this build is not really necessary for chances. You know, you can use more resistance for more defensive, or more +1 skill for more offense option. So my fate is not proc yet, but you already see since I got Mala, which adds some more resistance. So I really don't need to wait for, you know, fate to proc. But for the sake of this build to show you guys, I want to proc the fate. So what I do is I go to Act 4 and I go to this fire to proc the fate. So let's say if you don't have a lot of resistance, you know, you don't have any charm, or if you don't have, if you choose more offensive option on the enemy in the range, you can always proc the fate and then you'll boost your resistance to the max anyway. So let's go back to where I got and buy some pots and we can finish the Uber. Okay, I'm good with the pot. So kill Uber on there. So here I can actually do 4 runs. So this build is really fun to play. The Dream, double full Dream actually provides a lot of AOE and a lot of damage. And then Zeal is very good for target, and you can also Smite or, you know, Uber and bosses. One of the downside on this build is really the mana. You don't really have the insight to generate the mana. You know, other than that, it's not that bad. It's not possible. Here with this map, I was able to teleport. You can actually swap out some FCR here, but then, you know, not really necessary anyway. Boys are very good. Okay, so here he is. So my mercenary actually died, but I can still survive. So I don't even have much here. My life tag is strong, so really, you know, theoretically, you can survive with the last week is only on the right path. CV is important because where it helps, the boss's health is so much, so you want to extract it earlier. Really, the downside of this build is you see my mercenary just died, and really there's no death. Yeah, I can survive time. Also, really provide all the necessary stats for surviving and killing the bird. So that was the worst possible situation. My mercenary died. And I forgot to proc my CTA, but you know, I can still manage to kill Ontario pretty easy.
Afternoon.
Okay, nice. Bring me back. And let's kill some over bosses and see if I can survive. So let me make sure that I do that. So with the convection error is that you actually cancel some Fesco's error. You are going to you can see my resistance stays the same to the Meph. Really, it's very easy. They don't even stand up right now. We have to kill them. And there you go, we can stop them. Like, they don't die. They die. Can still survive without the character. Very easy. They don't even do damage. I forgot to heal my mercenary to die, but this is gonna be faster if my mercenary is still alive, because then he can provide me with the weakness of Zeal. You have to compensate the weakness of Zeal, which is providing me another attack. There you go. This I can play with one hand, just keep on clicking him. I'll be fine. Not even using any pots. But with a lot of weird config of Helm and fire. So with the Zeal, you see the attack rating is so low. You really want to use Smite. There you go. It died. It takes a little bit longer than I expected because my mercenary has to die. But, you know, you get the idea. If your mercenary is alive, then this run is going to be much faster. So even without her as a voice situation, you can still be alive. And there you go. Thank you guys for watching. This is Tesladin.